Hello everybody. So I'm not sure how this video is going to come out, considering the fact that I'm filming this at nighttime. Well, it's not really night. I mean, it's only 5:30, but it's already kind of very dark and very wintry wise, even though it is not really it's not really cold. There's no snow, but as you can see, folks have it already, decorations out. So I finally got my parking sticker. I am finally getting to the point of where I'm asking help with my brother to just move the car from where it is now to where it's going to be parked, where I live. And as of the making of this video, the car is still for sale. Supposedly I have one gentleman who is interested in coming down here in a few days and taking a look at it. I mean, I hope he likes it, but but if he doesn't, I mean, he's gonna spend like 3.5-4 hours driving to get it. So if it ever happens, right? So as of the making of the video, it's penciled in. But I can't help to notice how we have the last sedan that Ford made, which is 2020. This car, this is a 2020 Ford Fusion, and this is the last year that Ford actually made a car. So a sedan, I should say. And the reason why I'm even making this video is because look at this. We have the last sedan that the Ford made. Oh, okay, and we have the last full-size, quote-unquote traditional sedan that Ford made. And here they are, in a rather similar color, right? I mean, we have, what is it, the silver birch metallic or whatever this is called, and I think this is just called silver. They didn't go the fancy route. And here you go, and I have a collection. For the first time in my life, I own two vehicles at the same time. Let's see, I don't know if I can step far enough to capture both of them. All right, well, there you go. It'll zoom in. There you go. We got two sedans. One person owns it. Same color, too. There you go. So, man, much smaller, obviously, this thing than this thing. Definitely, different styling altogether. And I'm sorry, this is like the dark portion of the street, but that one is parked right underneath a light. But yeah, just look at the styling, like whatever you guys can hopefully see. Here, let me move away from the side of the street. You kind of see the upright and the blocky styling. Very, very traditional. And then you have this thing. Way more swoopier. There's a lot more like lines, like crisper lines, even like you can kind of see on the hood. No hood ornament, but you got the Ford badge. Oh crap, it's really hard to see here, even for me. You got the Ford badge. You have kind of a sporty looking sedan, but even like the mirrors, right? You got the traditional mirrors right there, and then you got here they somehow moved it to the door. I know this is like a more modern tradition to put them there, although in Europe and I think in Japan, this is like where a lot of the mirrors go. I don't know if it's the regulation or whatnot. I'm not 100% sure, but this is kind of interesting. I don't even think I noticed that before. This is interesting. So look at this here. Let's go back, and I'm just trying to kill some time, guys. I'm waiting. Look at this. Look how far we've gone. Oh, there you go. Little lights turned on. Look how far we've gone. We got these buttons here, and then you transition here, you get these. Look at that. You touch here, bam, right there. Now, yes, I like how this looks. I like the fact that it's on the pillar. It is not sticking out from anywhere. People who don't know about it, they won't know. But you press it, bam, it comes out. Now, I do have the code. So it's interesting, and then it kind of just boop, disappears. And I already tested it. I know the factory code, and I will reset it to my own code. But I like that versus that just an ugly piece of plastic that just sticks out, and it's always in black, no matter what color the car is. At least here hides it much nicer. I mean, this is the base model. Had it been not the base model, it would have had the fog lights there. Maybe a bit more chrome. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, definitely looks different. Let's see, rims. Now, I didn't see any kind of corrosion there, but you see, definitely none of that old-fashioned hubcap thing cover. So, like, none of this. Although, look how nicely it shines compared to the dirty rim. This is surprisingly clean. I'm talking about the centerpiece, and people steal those all the time. Here, you got a little Ford thing in the center, and that's it. Everything is exposed. No reason to hide anything. There you go. Look from the back too. Kind of, once again, very traditional. Nothing really fancy there. Let's see. There you go. And let's take a look here. I mean, a bit more sculpted. Not sure what these supposed to represent. These little chromy bits here, but okay, I guess it's fine. And definitely the hybrid, right? We're going with modern times. Everything's got to be hybrid, and this one is a hybrid. Can you guys imagine if Lincoln Town Cars were hybrid? Like, what kind of a powertrain would these things would actually have if they were hybrid? Like, I can only imagine. Got a huge V8 that doesn't really make a whole lot of power, and you got a hybrid. So yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, now it's interesting here. Now I'll do a much better review of this car once kind of the dust settles and I have enough time, and it's hopefully, daytime. I'll do a much closer walk around and do the full-blown review, and I found some interesting things about this vehicle as well that I didn't know before, but it didn't change my opinion on it. But I mean, for now, it's all kind of, it's a much smaller package, of course, right? I mean, they don't make huge sedans like this anymore unless it's like a Mercedes, but you got a nice kind of a mid-size, there you go, kind of a mid-size vehicle. Those are very popular in the car rental world. They see them all the time. They made a lot of them too. The only reason I think why they canceled these is because the sales just started dropping year after year after year. But in their heyday, they made a ton of these things, and they are everywhere. This is like the salesperson's dream car kind of deal. I shouldn't call it a dream car, but this is like every salesperson's car. And we have another salesperson in the company who drives it, and we have another salesperson who drives this. So Ford Fusion, now, although this is the only one that's hybrid, the other ones are just gasoline. So there's that. What else? No sunroof here. So that's a shame. If this was like the titanium one, this would have had sunroof, but no sunroof for me. They were optional on these. Another interesting thing that I noticed, well, I mean, I shouldn't say I noticed, but it's kind of a well-known fact. You got the backup sensors. To this day, I don't understand a very simple thing. How and why were they able to hide these sensors on a Lincoln Town Car? Like, what technology, what wizardry did they come up with in order to hide the backup sensors? How come in every other car, let's see, I can't see them there in the front, but this car, by the way, does have the assist too, so there are sensors here too. I just don't know where they are, to be honest with you, but it's all right. We'll do a more walk around. But this is the only car that I am aware of where these sensors are not like a separate piece that's very obvious. They don't look ugly here or anything, but they're here, right there. They're circles, yet they are hidden on a town car. See, I'm getting the hounds released on me. The interior, not quite sure what is there to talk about the interior now, but I guess I'll just pull a quickie. I mean, yeah, it's the screens. No screens up there. Screens everywhere, screens. 2 screens, 3 screens. Some cars have the whole car that's a screen. Not sure. But here, you got screens. Over there, no screens. And the one little screen in the center, well, this looks much nicer. I gotta give it that. The modern technology, oh, there it goes. Oh, there it goes. Let's see, what do I do? What do I press here? There you go. You know, USBs, look at that. And I think this thing has an Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I need to test it out. I'm not 100% sure it has it, but it should. It should have it. Because it has the big screen there and it has the Syncs. I think Syncs is famous for that. But also, look at all the smudges. Look at all the smudges on the screen. I'm just amazed how modern technology can't figure out a way how to make a smudge not happen on the screens. Not sure. Yeah, look at all the buttons. You got very basic cruise control there on the top of the line car. And you have a base model car with an adaptive cruise control. Now, I like this feature. I like this feature a lot. Plus, it's got the lane keep assist. And actually, I tested out that system. It's an active lane keep assist. It will literally nudge the steering wheel back into its lane if it senses that, you're swerving or something. So that's interesting. No heated seats on this one. This one's cloth. That one is leather. I mean, they all came standard with the leather. You got heated seats on everything except for the signature. This one, had it been the titanium or any higher trim than this, these are the heated seats button that just don't exist here. So we're drawing a blank here. The shifter. To be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of this shifter. I'm not. I do love the column shifter. Man, I wish I could just bring the shifter in here. I mean, it makes more sense. Like, why even have this real estate right here taken up by what's a pretty small thing? Where I know on a Lincoln version of this car, they had the little buttons right here, which once again has its own level of stupidity, I guess. But you have a big console here with good cup holders, and you got open space here. So got to give them credit. You don't have anything underneath here, but it's this whole modern rotary thing, which I just don't get. But I like the column shifter. I think I'm going to miss it a lot. And now when I get into any other car except for that one, my immediate instinct is up. Okay. Oh, it's right here. Or anywhere else. I know shifters are a little crazy here. Yeah, the size is definitely, that one's bigger. This one's smaller. I'm going to have to figure out a way how to get everything to fit here with the child seats and everything else. I also watched some videos. I'm going to need to check the in-cabin air filter. And apparently I need to remove the glove box in order to get to it. And I don't mean like remove to pull the lid down. I mean like remove the entire glove box. That's another stupid design thing, which I guess I'll have to make a video about that. Because over there, I complain about having to remove the entire housing for the headlights and the rear lights to change the light bulb. Here, I'm going to have to remove like two trim pieces, a glove box, and then there's something else behind it to get to the air filter. And I have no idea if it was ever changed. For all I know, it's still on the original filter that's probably nasty inside. And there's a blower motor back there too. So we'll see how that goes. Plus, I'll need to check and see the air filter for the engine too. I'm not sure how it looks and whether or not it was ever changed. I can probably look in the history of the car that I inherited from, my place of employment and kind of see there. Let's see. Can we turn them off here? Let's see. I still need to figure out what these buttons do. Okay. Got the Ford. What is it doing? Oh, okay. So that's weird. So this cancels out the lights. Okay. I understand. All right. Yeah. Now the doors, they open actually quite wide. I like that. Our Subaru Forester does that. They open up like almost 90 degrees. And got a little speaker here too. That's kind of nice. Yeah, in the back, although I do like the fact that they have the rear air vents, because like my wife's Forester does not have that. I don't get it. It's a 2016, pretty modern. Yeah, so the back seat is harder than on the town car, for sure. But it's not uncomfortable. It's not like I'm sitting on a rock. I mean, yeah, it could use a little softness. Let's see. Can I turn on there you go. All right. But yeah, there's definitely way more room up front. But here's the thing, guys. I am in my car by myself like 95% of the time. Yes, I will have car seats, put one there, put one where I'm sitting. So I'm in my car, most of the time just by myself. So whether I'm driving a huge car over there or I'm driving a smaller car over there, it's really not going to affect me. Now, I have to move the seat all the way back here, but I have to move all the seat all the way back there. So in that regard, not a whole lot has happened. And yes, in the town car, it's much softer and much nicer. Of course it is. It has to be. That car is much nicer. So that one. But this one will do. But also the bigger thing is that the gas mileage. I mean, I showed you guys 18.4. I'll show you what it is, and I'll run some experiments. I'm going to try to trash this thing a little bit to see how bad or how good of a gas mileage it gets under stress. And then I'm going to try to feather it for maybe like a week. And I'm going to report, right, since I'll be commuting about the same distance. Right, that car has uses about half a tank of gas every week for me if I just commute to work and back. Let's see how much this one. Maybe, I mean, this one has got 3 times the gas mileage. So I imagine it being, better than the gas. Although the gas tank is not as big either. And what else? All right, I guess the last thing I can talk about here, let's turn off this, is the trunk size. Now, I don't have the keys, but let's see where we can get the trunk. There you go. No power, although I find that feature to be pretty useless. Yeah, I mean, a much smaller trunk. Let's see. Yeah, with a shelf. There you go. Yeah, I'll have to get a cargo net for this thing, which I use all the time. And I'll check and see if I get some sort of a liner for this thing, because I'm not, there's like this little thing you pick up, but there's not an actual liner. Okay, I got an inflated kit here. Yeah, no spare tire in these bad boys. And I'll have to figure out a way how to change the battery, because that's a little off on there. So let's see. Oh, I'm like, where's this light shining from? It's actually from down here. So, all right, folks. Well, this is a little surprise video. I had a little bit of time to kill. It's interesting to see the last traditional sedan being next to sedan, period, made by the same company. Yes, Ford equals Lincoln, Lincoln equals Ford. And yeah, there's a Lincoln version of this car. I'll mention it during some of my other videos. I want to almost say that this one looks nicer. I mean, the other one is nicer on the inside, but I think on the outside, especially the same like model year, I think I prefer the Ford over the Lincoln. But Lincoln's got a few nicer tricks up its sleeve too. So, all right, everybody. We'll see you next time.